Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm doing another fun review video of TV shows, and this time I thought I would do a really old show, but I'm currently watching it and I love it. I'm reviewing Dallas. That is the original from 1978 to 1991. I have seen the reboot already, and I will throw up my comments of what I think about in the reboot a little bit later, but right now I'm just gonna talk about the original that had Linda Gray, Patrick Duffy, and the legendary Larry Hagman, Steve Canale, and Barbara Bel Geddes, Jim Davis, Suzanne Howard, Ken Kurtoval, Victoria Principal, and Charlene Tilton. Now, this show did run for 14 seasons, so not every single cast member is going to be listed off in this video. It's 14 seasons. That video would be really long if I gave you all the cast intro characters. So I'm just doing the main cast from the 70s. And like I said, mine is Larry Hagman. He is legendary. Larry Hagman was also in I Dream of Jeannie as Tony. I don't remember his actual name. I think it was Tony. He was like an astronaut. That was a really good show, but to me, he was the best at playing bad guy, but lovable bad guy. J.R. Ewing on Ewing on Dallas, and I know I'm probably saying his last name wrong. Sorry, guys. Now Larry Hagman stuck around for all 14 seasons, and he did the reboot. He was so good at being a bad guy. Unfortunately, he did pass away in 2012 or 2013, I believe. I think it was 2012. During the second season of the reboot, which he was on, which he was amazing on the reboot, just like he was amazing on the original. I love watching Patrick Duffy and him argue who play Bobby and JR, and they play brothers on the show, and they argue over everything. They argue over family, they argue over their oil business, which, if you don't know, the whole story of Dallas is this rich oil family, the Ewings, and they are rich families, but they're hugely into family, but they also double cross each other a lot. I was about to say a couple times. It was more than a couple. But there's a family you kind of are enjoying watching them go against each other. Now, Larry Hagman was considered the bad guy. Patrick Duffy was the good guy. Bobby, the younger brother, who was supposedly married on the show to, well, not supposedly, but on the show to Victoria Principal, who played Pamela. And Pamela and Bobby were like a Romeo and Juliet story because their families hated each other. And they got together and got married, and, it was this big feud. And this went on for 14 seasons. I can understand why it did, because it was interesting. My favorite is Larry Hagman, of course. But I also love another actor on there. His name was Steve Canale, and he plays Ray Krebs, and he is still alive. The only members that have passed away from the original Dallas are Barbara Bell Geddes, who plays the mom, Miss Ellie, Jim Davis, who plays the dad, Jock, and Larry Hagman, who plays JR. So all the original cast, except for those 3, are still alive, and I love it. I'm on season 10 right now, I believe. I love it. I'm definitely gonna watch this all the way through. Now, I did watch the reboot when it was originally out, and it was a good reboot. It was not like, oh, we're remaking Dallas, oh, we're gonna reboot it. It was, yes, it was a reboot of the original Dallas, but it was like Dallas the Next Generation. You had Josh Henderson, who played John Ross, which is the son of Larry Hagman's character, JR, and his wife, Sue Ellen, which in the original, you talk about dysfunctional couple. Woo! They were incredibly dysfunctional, but so entertaining to watch. They end up having a son in the reboot. His name's John Ross. He is played by Josh Henderson, I believe is his last name. And when I tell you he was so good at being bad, just like Larry Hagman, I mean, he was so good at playing bad. And he had great chemistry with his on-screen parents, Linda Gray and Larry Hagman. It was almost like they were his actual parents, even though they weren't. And in the reboot, Bobby has a son with Pamela, who is in the original. Now, she does not make a cameo in the spinoff, but in the original, you find out what has happened to her. They end up having a son in the original that they adopt, named Christopher. You see him as an adult. He goes against his cousin, which is John Ross, and they go head to head, and it's kind of like Bobby and JR, but obviously the next generation. But the thing about Dallas, whether you're watching the reboot or the spinoff, it's in a weird way all about family. It's family dysfunction, but it's family nonetheless. And the reason I don't think the reboot got enough credit is, unfortunately, Larry Hagman passed away right in the middle of season 2. And I don't think they gave it enough of a shot without him. Unfortunately, I wish it had lasted longer than 3 seasons. But unfortunately, it got canceled after 3 seasons, and there was no real finale. It was like, oh, it just got canceled, whatever. And that was unfortunate because all the actors on the reboot, just like the original Dallas, were incredible actors. If you watch the Hallmark Channel, which I do, and a lot of my friends who watch my YouTube channel also do, you will know Jesse Medcalf from Chesapeake Shores. He is in the reboot. He is Christopher. You will love it. He did a great job as Christopher, going against Josh Henderson, who plays, John Ross, JR's son. So check it out. Let me know what you think of Dallas. It is on Amazon Prime is where I find it. Or let me know if your parents have even watched Dallas. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you again next time.